5, which became law on July 1st after being approved by the City Council, set up a permitting system for all 288 city parks across Oahu. What kind of commercial activity, if any, should be allowed at city parks?
You know, I think it depends on the parks that we're talking about. As you know, there was a second bill that banned commercial operations at beach parks in Kailua and Klama Beach Park. And this is something that Ben and I differ on. I do see a benefit to some commercial activity for tourism. It's our #1 industry in our state, and I think we need to find balance where we preserve the use of parks for our residents, particularly on the weekends. And so I'd allow some limited commercial activity in parks on weekdays in designated areas. And it would depend on the beach park. Of course, in Kailua, it'd be kayaks and windsurfers and that kind of thing. In other parks, it could be renting of surfboards, like in Waikiki. So it would depend, and I would work closely with the Department of Parks and Recreation to come up with rules and regs to do that.
Mr. Cayetano, what's your view?
I don't necessarily disagree with Kurt on the regulation should be in tune with the kind of parks that we're talking about. We're talking about Kailua Beach. In that particular case, I was for a total ban of commercial activity. There are some places where you need to do this to nurture and maintain the resource. Because the trouble with commercial activity, if it is successful, they would want to do more and more of it, and it expands. And that's the problem we had, for example, 20 years ago on the Honolulu River when I was governor. And I issued an executive order banning the Zodiacs from taking tourists up and down the river to pretty much preserve the place for local people. And that's what happened.